Hey, good afternoon, folks. We're out here doing some watering. We had a hot day here today. I should have been out here and watered early this morning, and I should have been out here midday and watered them again, if my cucumbers took some real heat abuse because of not having any water to cool them down. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on that stuff. Otherwise, we're not gonna have much of a garden here further on down the road. Everything. It's funny. The potted plants aren't doing as well heat related as the cucumbers in the ground. They're not even bothered, but they are in a better shaded area than the cucumbers over here that are up here in the stands. But zucchini can't handle a whole bunch of heat either, and it's got a lot of blossoms. But what'll happen with a plant, if it can't get enough water and right temperatures, it will bail out on the production of the fruit. It'll drop its blossoms and won't produce anything else. We're a little late in the season for zucchini. They should have been planted February, and we should have been had them along February or end of January somewhere, and they'd have been a lot better off than they are. But we do what we can. Eggplant, they have no problem with the heat. I think we're going to turn around and when these zucchini are out of here, we're going to plant some jalapeno peppers, some bell peppers. Maybe introduce some of these, more of these tomatoes. These tomatoes are doing extremely well in the 90-degree heat. Now, if you look over there, those thick green tomatoes, which I'm pointing the hose on right now, those are the cherry tomatoes, and they are very Florida heat tolerant tomatoes. They do well. Now the what do you call it over here? These big boy tomatoes. They're doing quite well also. Again, they're in the shade in a protected area, and it really helps them out a lot. Now these potatoes were just recently banked, hilled, whatever you want to call them, and they're already in blossom. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff right there. With them being, I'm going to have to get out here and put these eggplant. Going to have to stake them up. And I'm going to have to stake those eggplant. Those that's the mother cherry tomato plant. Right there's the mother of that one, and that one there, the bigger one there, is the mother of those over there. So they what do you call it? Produce after themselves pretty good. We do the old squash the tomato, put a little dirt over it, and that's how we get our tomato plants on those cherry tomatoes. So I plan on growing those cherry tomato particular kinds for years to come, and they're a handy item because they just continue to make their little tomato berries all the time. This one here is getting the mama plant's getting a little old. It might be time to take that out and replace it with that one right over there. That one over there could be a good place for that tomato to end up and fill that spot. But this is a place to be, I'm telling you. Out here in the garden where the vegetables are. It's a calm, peaceful place. It does require a lot of water and little effort. And you can see here, I just watered these these cucumbers and how fast they're starting to come back up. I'm going to mist them right now. I'm going to get a mist over all these plants, and that's going to refresh those leaves and those vines, and keep this area here all lush and wet. But again, it's going to be one of them deals where it's going to be 2 or 3 times a day on the watering. Otherwise, we're just going to have pots and nothing in them, because the sun will destroy them very rapidly. And it's getting time to plant the southern heat plants. Get the sweet potatoes in the ground, and the zipper peas, and field peas, black-eyed peas. Again, those tomatoes over there, they're doing phenomenal. We just fed them again the other day, and they're just taking right off. But hopefully we keep the zucchini going with a lot of water, and we'll get some more zucchini out of there to not only eat ourselves, but to give away to friends and family. And it's all part of the garden. My mama was a gardener probably all of her life. Through her last days, she grew something. And 90 years of life, and she always had something for somebody when it came to the stuff from the good earth. So it's a good thing. It grounds you, it keeps you mellow, gives you a peaceful place to be in a troubled time. And gardening is a good thing. I'm probably going to have to do something with those big boy tomatoes over there. They're starting to grow some tomatoes, and they're starting to get heavy, and they're starting to lay down. And I don't want them laying down. I want them standing up. That's the key to this whole thing. Keep stuff up where it can't grow rot or anything else like that. When you're not pruning, but when you're picking your vegetables and stuff, be sure to be careful not to hurt the plant, the mother plant, and keep it safe so it'll be producing you some food. I'm probably going to try taking some of these leaves off some of these eggplant and starting some eggplant from a leaf. Like I'm over here starting this. I got a tomato plant. I've got it in a bottle of water and a little tablespoon of fertilizer in it, and we're trying to root that. So we'll have some more tomato plants. We got there's 2 tomatoes in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tomatoes over there, and there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 in the pot. Now those cherry tomatoes over there, there's a whole bunch of plants in one of them. So that may not be the best thing to do, but that's from 1 tomato. You just push a tomato, crack it open with your finger, take one of them little red balls over there and put it in some potting soil, some dirt with a little fertilizer, and you'll have some tomatoes in a relatively quick time. Now, you folks up there in the Northeast in the colder climates where it's it's just getting into that garden type season, you still got time to start you some tomatoes from scratch. And if you don't want to pay big money for tomato plants, $4 a piece, $3.99, just go to your favorite grocery store and get yourself some tomatoes. Some of these are tomatoes like the cherry tomatoes over there, and just squash them with your fingers and put them in the dirt. And in about 7 days, you'll have a whole bunch of tomatoes. And I'm telling you that Epsom salts and bone meal and the organic tomato fertilizer really makes a big difference on the plant, on the size of the stem. I mean, they come out, they're nice and hardy, I mean, some of these greenhouses around here that grow tomatoes, they're just spindly looking things. They're just planting them in potting soil. They're not putting anything with them, and the results isn't so good. But if you can see, like with this tomato plant over here, the how thick these stems are. Look at them. Look at them stems right there. Nice strong tomato plant. Actually, now if I was more, you know, I would put a mister system out here. You just have it run for the hotter part of the day, and just keep this all cool and comfortable. And that's the whole key to growing stuff. Is if you're going to grow stuff in the heat, you're going to have to put the water to it. And when you water isn't always beneficial to your plants because it can cause molding, mildew, all sorts of stuff like that, and we don't want to do that. But why am I doing that? I'm putting some water over there because I got my bare feet on. And speaking of bare feet, Randy Young's probably got done playing, but I haven't missed Randy in all these years he's been doing it. But just not feeling like it today for some reason. So I hope you're all safe out there and you're all doing well. Please stay peaceful, stay together, take care of each other, and don't let anybody get you involved in some of this terrorist activity that's happening in our country right now. And ain't none of it right. Yeah. So just think about it. And we must take care of our own families and towns and cities and remember who we are. And let's just get this nice and cooled off here good and let it do its thing. And again, it's Florida, we're almost June, and without a lot of water, garden just going to turn into a weed pile. But, you can see, if you've seen these before, when I just came in here and hit them, they were just totally wilted up and dying. But just in a matter of no time at all, that life force, that water life force, just hit those cucumbers and just revitalized them. Living water just hit them and got them going. And this one over here isn't quite doing as well. One of the reasons why it's in a hanging pot and it doesn't have the amount of space below for the roots to travel to get a drink of water basically all day long. So that's something in the future we'll be changing. We won't be going with the hanging plant. We'll be going with the wicker bucket with the bottles in the bottom of it. And if you look and you see that bottle right there, those bottles are standing there at that height in the bottoms of those buckets, and they're keeping that plant alive with oxygen and plenty of water. So got to get off of here and go pick Grandma a handful of tomatoes and turn this water off, and hopefully we'll keep growing here until we get some more vegetables out of this deal. Again, I started too late in the season. I started in March. I should have started in early February at least. And but I still made a lot of progress. This is probably close to 3 or 4 years that we've been out here growing stuff on this little piece of land. I wish I had that land over there, but evidently that's not going to work out right now. But that would have been the ultimate deal, is to get a piece of property that I could grow stuff on and share that harvest. Just a half-acre piece of land with a well on it and some maybe solar power that would power the water pump, and you know, make that happen. You know, fenced in, secure, so you know, vandals couldn't get in it somehow. But that would be a ultimate thing for me, you know, and go at it in a way that it's not a chore, but it's something that I enjoy. And that's what everything you should do in life. You should do something with passion and enjoyment, and that way it's not a job. It's something that you have a love for. And so anyway, I'm gonna get done watering here and make sure this hose is shut off, and we're gonna turn this video off, and y'all be good.